Hi guys, Easter is this weekend and I thought this would be a perfect time to take a little field trip. I wanted to take you down to Fred's, one of my favorite pastry chefs and chocolatiers here in Saint-Gilles, Croix. And we are going to learn how to make French Easter chocolate. I have always been impressed by the chocolates I see in his window, and one year my husband even brought some home for me and it was to die for. And today he has invited us into his atelier to learn how he makes them.
Alors les œufs, puis l'œuf signature.
Fred explains that the eggs are the signature motif in France for Easter. And then there were a few other motifs that I haven't seen so much in the United States, such as the chicken. We need to celebrate where the eggs come from, so the chicken is a very popular motif, as is the fish. The fish gets its origins from a lot of different sources depending on who you ask. Some say it's because of Poisson d'Avril, which is the French April Fool's Day, which is very close to Easter, and the tradition is to paste a paper fish on someone's back. But the fish is also a prominent motif in Christianity, so it probably started there. So I saw an Easter bunny, but I was curious if that's who actually brought the chocolates on Easter morning in France.
Oui. C'est les cloches qui ramènent les chocolats de Pâques.
In France, on Good Friday, the church bells fall silent. The legend has it that they are going to Rome to be blessed, and on their way back, they sprinkle the countryside of France with Easter chocolates, and then it's up to the kids to find them. C'est mignon.
Voilà.
Fred has a lot of fun with this egg motif. You can see here this large egg and little toast stick. The entire thing is made out of chocolate. If you guess how much it weighs, you'll get a free meal at the restaurant next door. Then he makes some of his own whimsical characters out of the shape of an egg. So this one is a little honeybee with a hive. He has a little cactus, again with the shape of an egg as the face. A chicken on a surfboard because we live near the beach. It's amazing to me that this is all made out of chocolate. You can definitely see his creativity on display. Then he invited me in the back to see how it's done. On the way, I couldn't help but stop to look at these gorgeous specimens. Look at this. Beautiful eggs waiting to be filled, little garden pots, again, all made in chocolate. Then he showed me these. These were pretty spectacular. These are little chickens. Again, everything is made out of chocolate, and he puts these little plaques on top of his Easter cakes, like this one, which is a chocolate mousse cake with hazelnut and almond, a lemon cream, and a sablé crust. I mean, can you imagine how good that must be? We went into another part of the building, which is where he actually makes the chocolate. Je sens le chocolat. Now we are in the inner sanctum. This is where it all begins. The fragrance of chocolate is unbelievable. It makes me want to eat it all. It's like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Tu connais Charlie in the Chocolate Factory?
Oui, voilà. Oui.
Well, he has certainly been very busy. Look at all of these little small chickens that he's made. Again, everything out of chocolate. This one has a little ribbon for first place that he's wearing. He customizes them. So over here you'll see there's some chickens that have an artist motif, complete with their own paint palette. Ah!
Encore,
Oh my gosh.
Les petites bouées, petites poulettes.
Then there were chickens in little buoys shaped as flamingos. Isn't that cute? And then these little things, which I think was sort of a fun tradition he was explaining, they're little chocolates that you put on the plate before dessert or before coffee. So it's just a way to kind of delight your guests with something while they wait. There was a huge vat of dark chocolate spinning in the center of the room, and he was now preparing the molds that he was going to show me how he makes both the Easter egg and the fish. He puts a pastry brush under this chocolate fountain and then brushes the mold with the chocolate to make at least one layer where he can get inside all of those little nooks and crannies. Then he does a second layer where he takes the entire mold and runs it under the fountain to fill it up all the way. This is what is going to create kind of the thickness of the chocolate. Then he flips it over. The excess goes back into the chocolate vat, and then he lets it sit. He does the same exact thing for the egg mold, then pops them in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes to harden. And then watch how easily these things release when he lifts up the mold. Look at that. Isn't that spectacular? And then I just couldn't get over the motif of these molds. Look at how beautiful that is. Wow. And the fish were also equally beautiful. Just look at that detail. It's so amazing. Now, back in the States, a lot of our chocolate molds for Easter were always left hollow. But here in France, they're actually filled with little miniature chocolates, something that's known as garni. I love the idea of filling these chocolate molds with something. My husband a few years ago brought me back one of his amazing roosters that was filled with chocolate. And it was such a wonderful surprise because it's something you don't expect. But now I'm really curious how he actually seals this thing shut. And that's where this heated plate comes into play. Est-ce que je peux le toucher? I was curious how hot it really was, and I asked him if I could touch it. It was really almost just like lukewarm, but that's all he would need to melt the chocolate. So he put the fish down and just kind of moved it around, melting that exterior sides so that when he went to put it on the other half, it would actually stick. I was pretty amazed that that's actually all it took, especially given the weight of the little chocolates inside. But sure enough, it stuck together and we had ourselves a fish. The same thing was done with the Easter egg, and he basically just took the two halves and stuck them together. And then to keep the egg upright, he had a little base that the egg nestled into, which I thought also looked pretty. Then it was back to the shop because I had a little Easter chocolate shopping of my own I had to do. Okay, well, I have two teenagers at home who has informed me that they're not too old for an Easter basket. So I'm going to see if Fred can help me pick out some chocolates for them. I made a beeline for the eggs because I thought those were so striking and beautiful. I bought a fish for my husband. And of course, I can't forget me in the process. I think I'm gonna go with one of these because that's the one that my husband brought home years ago that I can't stop thinking about. Not only were the chocolates beautiful, but they were also beautifully packaged, which I think makes the whole gift so much more festive. They packed up all my treasures and I was ready for Easter. Merci, Fred. Joyeux Pâques.
Joyeux Pâques.
Okay, I've got my chocolates. Now, where am I going to hide all of this until Easter morning? I got to find a cool, dry place. Wish me luck. See you next time.